sell to them? And how was it that you sold it so well that they bought and given you the mandate?
Well, my message to the constituents were actually rather tailored to our specific needs, although I still spoke about the national agenda, which still falls under good healthcare services, good jobs, improvement of all the other sectors, including agriculture and education. But I tried as much to encourage our people to think of somebody who can serve the community very well. So that was sort of my key thing, that since I've been working largely as a medical doctor within the community, that they consider my past good works and then grant me the opportunity to serve the community in the capacity as the Member of Parliament.
Okay. My final question to you will be that of, for instance, development. We do know that members of parliament are supposed to be legislators and not change makers or development agents. That's a debate that we've had back and forth. But what is your take on it? And looking at the fact that roads in the constituency almost always come up for discussion. Sometimes infrastructure is almost always in the debate or conversation when it comes to Anyaso. What is it that you're going to do as a member of parliament to help in the development of the area? Although, as member of parliament, your major task is to legislate.
Well, it's become a Ghanaian thing now that I think maybe as we move along, Member of Parliament have to redefine our roles in the sense that people's expectations are that we play a key role also in the infrastructure development. Though I think legislative-wise, we can still influence in a way in terms of how much is awarded to each constituency depending on their population. So one way or the other, as much as we may encourage our municipal chiefs and give them directives or directions that can help them prioritize development, we can probably make some instruments in terms of in the House to help us in terms of maybe financing of our roads and things like that. Because that is something we really need to re-engineer, how we do our road financing. I mean, I think in the places like, excuse me though, but in Colorado and New Jersey, you pay so much toll for road. And I think maybe, who knows, we may have to graduate to that level where citizenry agreed to, maybe a legislative arrangement where we get big financing for roads and infrastructure, and then we get levied as and when we use the roads. I really think, who knows, that might be a way out. We've been paying for Temamoto Way for the longest time, and I think if we have more Temamoto Ways, maybe our complaints will reduce, because it is much enjoyable to drive on a motorable road than to go through these roads that damage our cars. And sadly enough, I mean, if you drive through my local area, the Anya enclave, or, I mean, most of the other electoral areas, it's a huge problem. And I have, as it is, come to inherit a very huge task. And I pray the Almighty gives me guidance and directs my ways so that we can make some inroads in terms of helping with this huge challenge of drainage and roads. So at least in my first few days, as we do further collaborative work with all stakeholders, especially our engineering front, and so that I appreciate the work ahead. I mean, it's very important, and then see where and how we can all push, because it's not just governmental. We need to now look also outside in terms of businesses and in terms of other organizations who might be ready to help us develop better.
The area.
There's a concept I've been playing with. I think maybe since I'm here, I should share.
Sure.
Who knows?
Thank you.
We may have to
thank you so much.
do something about constituencies being adapted specifically for development, and who knows, that might be another opportunity. We have over 140,000 citizens in Anyansautum, and it's huge. It's a huge population, and we need to tailor our development to the population and look beyond just government. So today we're happy. First of all, it's a huge change from at least one leader to another, and I'm humbled once again by this opportunity granted to me by the Anyansautum voters, and I'm very appreciative, and I will commit to what I promised.
Doc, we thank you so much for making time to speak to us this evening. Dr. Adumaku Kissi is Member of Parliament-elect for the Anyansautum constituency, and I'm sure the constituents there have heard him speak, and definitely will be holding him accountable, that is, which should be the responsibility of every citizen and every electorate. This is still your Election Command Center. We wish all the MPs elect all the best as they go into the next 4 years to represent their constituents in Parliament. Bella, we know that social media has been awash with so many comments.
Yeah.
Take us through a number of them.
Well, so if you take a look at the trends, you'd realize that former President Mahama is #1 on that trend, and then the Electoral Commission follows closely, and interestingly, the NDC follows before the Information Minister, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, and then we have the President trending as well. And so let's start off with former President Mahama, and let's see what people are saying about him. We'll start off with someone who calls himself MPP broadcaster. He says in the morning, Sami JV said they had 148 seats. Later, Asiedun Ketia said they had 141. Now, former President Mahama says they have 140. Next press conference, it will reach 135 by tomorrow morning, Naka 12. Well, anyway, so that's someone's opinion. Elijab says, Kojo, were you trying to use His Excellency Mahama's picture to congratulate him, or you just want to release tension at the NPP camp? Clearly, Mahama Afa. Kojo says, Mahama Afa, but media houses say NPP. That be why the Electoral Commission conf. Mahama Afa Chale. Kobna Kwegren says, if Mahama had competed with Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, would have known the results within less than 24 hours. Okay, let's just move on to the next one. Adoyensi says, since you be... Okay, never mind. Well, let's go take a look at what people are tweeting when it comes to the Electoral Commission. And you'll notice that before the elections, the Electoral Commission had said that all things being equal, they were going to announce the results within 24 hours after the closure of polls. Unfortunately, today they did announce that they would have to extend that. And so we went to the Accra Conference Center hoping to hear something from the EC, and they did indicate that they were still receiving results from the regional collation centers, and so it was going to be difficult to come out with a declaration of who won the presidential elections, and in due course they would let us know. Well, let's just move on and see what people are saying about this particular issue. Me to the Electoral Commission now. Them they spoil things. Some bro in Soloku partner Seth left. The MPP in my area are celebrating. The NDC too are celebrating. The Electoral Commission, they cause confusion. I swear that's hands in the sky EP. Prince Manchevi says, as the Electoral Commission started releasing the results, Goom started collecting the zeros and ones. But I've been monitoring Fire TV. Chale, Righty Deliverance saw them, they show. Okay, Kali J says the Electoral Commission social media team is weak. National Science and Maths Quiz had a better social media team compared to the EC. Their social media team looks disorganized. And Dr. Ali Nyaba was just having that conversation with us, that they have not been able to take advantage of the ability to communicate effectively during this period. They did a better job during the registration exercise, but not this time. Well, they've had the opportunity to use their social media pages. We're not sure what's happening, but President Son says you're going to wake up and see that the Electoral Commission declared it during midnight, with one party congratulating the other. Adenta Nana Akufo-Addo says the Electoral Commission should reconsider the number of candidates presented on the presidential ballot slot. This has caused a lot of spoiled ballots, well, we'll call that rejected ballots. The money spent on printing these ballot papers could be used to restock our libraries and enhance knowledge. And, well, he includes a photo of the ballot paper just to add to the conversation. Said Darrell says if Trump tried his song and dance with the Australian Electoral Commission, well, let's move on. I don't think it's got to do with anything here. Kojo Kwesi says, Charlie, make the EC give me 300 Ghana pay. I go board the results, give them if them they fear. Abu Trika says if the Electoral Commission is scared of releasing the results, they should give it to WAEC. Results releasing have no feelings for anyone. Okay, I tell you, the way bikers they carry women. Okay, let's just move on and see what else other people are saying. And if the Electoral Commission is nervous, and this, by the way, is not the account of Triabosum, who is the flag bearer of GUM. I'm sure it's just someone who's using his details. He says, if the Electoral Commission is nervous, they should give the results to WAEC. They're experts in releasing results. Now, I want to know if I won. Kojo Ponkrumah, and he tagged Kojo Ponkrumah as well. Okay, let's just move on and see what people are saying about the NDC, and later we'll check the Kojo Ponkrumah thread and see what people are saying about that as well. We're loading the messages, and, well, let's see what they have to say. So people are also tweeting about the NDC. At this point, until the EC declares the results, we cannot say for sure which party, has won. Of course, the EC is mandated to make that call, and so we'll wait for that. But Dave says the NDC will only chastise the EC because they probably know they've lost already. And Mame says that NDC should chill a bit. Hey, Glennie says Akufo-Addo's leading according to all the media stations, but the NDC seem to have counted the ballot papers themselves. Be like them, get them own EC. Okay.
And the hashtags comfortable lead.
Oh, it was there?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't see that. Okay. Messi's 5 says NPP has lost. Yay, yada. Se. Okay, I don't understand this. Juliana Abani says NDP's General Secretary says Nana is leading. Well, I think she meant NPP's General Secretary says Nana is leading by 51%, yet he can't remember his own party's percentage, nor the NDC. Okay, so you're right, the NDP's General Secretary. So he can't remember his own party's percentage, nor the NDC's. It's funny, though. And Believe Pius thinks that they're cheating the NDC. Kobnako Egrin says, if Mahama had competed, I've read this already. Yeah. Hans in the Sky says the NPP people in my area are celebrating. Okay, the one says, I guess the NDC is trying to say that all the media platforms are deceiving us since they're all portraying that the NPP is in the lead. Just say, Ghana ha obiaye against. Okay. Mr. Mitchell says NPP is leading per their regional results with a total of 3 million votes. It's actually more than 3 million at this point, going in for the NPP. It's more than that. We're looking at, 6 million votes for both parties. Yes. But, of course, it clearly shows that the NPP is in the lead. But those are provisional results, by the way. They have not been declared by the EC yet. Fantiniba says, what I can't make sense of is that the NDC said they were being vigilant, but somehow they're not accepting results that they partook in, ensuring was accurate. Well, they say they have their results, and per their results, they are in the lead, and that is why they are contesting the results that are already out there. But all those are provisional, and we're waiting for the EC. Sami Sasa says, so why is the NDC claiming they've won 141 seats for the parliamentary? Does it mean that the NDC is only interested in the parliamentary elections? And that's Tiffany asking that question. Emisa says the NDC guy is struggling for words. Please help him. Rex Soma, which is also a parody account, says, well, yeah, we'll move on. Joe says, man, you've got to start making preparations to relocate to another country, because Ghana will not bend. No, Ghana will not bend. We reject that. To be honest, the NDC would have won with the old voters register, which had so many ghost voters in their favor. The NPP should sit up. The numbers weren't any different after the compilation of the voters register anyway, which was the reason why many people were questioning whether there was a need for them to go ahead with the compilation of the new voters register. Nana Shmeda, Kwame Shmeda says, no, NDC has won fair and square in all the polling stations. But while they were collating, they bloated the numbers for the NPP. That was when the misunderstanding began. So the chief of Techiman came to the scene to tell the NDC to sign the pink sheet to accept the results. And that's from an earlier conversation, I'm sure, about the Techiman constituency. And Kojobo says that J.D. Mahama and the NDC party in Ghana are considering going to court. Apparently, they suspected rigging in the just ended election. Maybe he can try and take a cue from this. Let's go to Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. Now, he also held a press conference on behalf of the NPP, but from the Ministry of Information. And he also addressed certain...
He actually said that for that particular press conference, he was speaking as government, not party.
And not party.
Yeah,
okay.
He wanted to be out of the... as an interested party.
Ghana PR says if the Electoral Commission is nervous, they should give the results to WAEC. We've read that already. Let's see if there are any comments on Kojo. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is a national treasure and should be protected at all costs. Manuel says Kojo Oppong Nkrumah for president, but I think he will be vice to Bawumia. And it's interesting. I mean, we're not even sure who is going to be the president for the next 4 years, but there's already a conversation about who will be succeeding President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo. And now I'm seeing Kojo Oppong Nkrumah possibly being a vice president, according to Manuel. That's interesting, yeah?
Very interesting. And if you look at some of the key names within the NPP, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah's name comes up every now and then. There is the like of Samia Wuku. They say that. So clearly there's some sort of a succession plan, although not confirmed or official. But then if you look at the kind of roles they play, you can tell that these are the next generation of leaders for the party. And certainly, if you take certain leadership roles, you, in the near future, be asked, maybe by your party, to represent them as a presidential candidate.
Let's see how that goes. But Mami B says Kojo Oppong Nkrumah for president 2024. Some people think it's a little too early if he should even want to contest. But you can never tell. Miracles do happen. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah's facial expression, they scared Dudu. That's Odo Kojo. And Fifi Yaka says Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is definitely going to be a president one day. And it is a fact. Maybe we should screenshot this message. And someday, if it does happen, we'll go back and refer to it. Dohiniwa says Kojo Oppong Nkrumah and confident lying with facts. Future flag bearer. Pa. Okay. Well, that's a photo of him. And future President Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, that's from Mr. Wam Sugar Boy King Ado 12. Okay. Watch Bantama High Street. Information Minister Honorable Kojo Oppong Nkrumah shades John Dramani Mahama. I don't think that was a shade. He was just questioning some of the claims that had been made by the NDC and by the former president. If Mahama had competed, that's we read already. And so those are also some messages.
So
finally,
there's a message about both of them, a picture of both of them appeared. I think they were asking that of the two, who do you think speaks better or communicates better? But
between who and who?
Bawumia and Kojo Oppong Nkrumah.
Oh, I see.
An interesting one to look at.
I think that's unfair to compare.
You see, people applaud Dr. Bawumia because of how he's able to break down the economics. Economics is something that is quite difficult to comprehend for many. But then I think both of them have very good economic background. Kojo, has a first degree in economics, and then Dr. Bawumia himself, a very good economist, and worked with as a former deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. So when it comes to numbers and finance, both of them seem to be very good. And both of them have played very key roles in politics as well. So I think they fit the argument. It will be a very good argument. If either of them was to be on the ballot, maybe this is NDC, this is MPP. It will be a really, really interesting
Well, let's just
race.
say MPP primaries. If we say NDC, MPP, then maybe that's it. Because there's no way these two gentlemen would even want to be found on the other side. But I still think that it's an unfair comparison because Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is fairly new when it comes to politics. I mean, he's still learning the ropes. We've had Dr. Bawumia, who's had the chance to be vice president. Even before he became vice president, he was selected as the running mate to Akufo-Addo. They have been through that process, and I think that he's grown in the space. He's experienced
two defeats.
Exactly. You have to experience defeat of that magnitude to understand understand what it's like to be in politics.
Absolutely,
Kojo has
yeah.
not experienced defeat yet. That doesn't mean that
Yeah.
he does not understand the terrain
Yeah.
anyway. But I think that they are poles apart, and maybe
Yeah.
we should just leave it there and allow both of them to just
They-
go
they are two
in their
fine
space.
gentlemen.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
and we admire both of them so much for
Certainly.
the work that they do. But again, who is it going to be? I mean, if you had to choose a flag bearer,
Of these two, good.
that's tough, eh?
That's a tough one. That's a
I'll
very
choose both
tough
of them.
You will. That's a tough one.
I mean, I'll leave
think-
that to the party members to
Yeah, yeah.
decide. That's why I'll choose both.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
Very tough one.
Anyway, so I was loading some messages from the trend Nana Addo, and that's for the president.
And he hasn't spoken yet. I mean, if you look at the fact that both parties have their representatives speaking, but then it is only the NDC's flag bearer who has spoken. Nana Akufo-Addo, we were told, was going to address the media. Nana Akufo-Addo showed us images of people who had gathered at the house of the president. There were expectations he might even move to the party headquarters to address them, because we saw a banner there saying Nana Akufo-Addo president-elect. So there were those who were thinking Nana Akufo-Addo is going to speak, but it seems as if he's yet to do that, or may not do that at all, probably awaiting the Electoral Commission to speak first before he comes out to say something.
Let's see what he has to say. Anyway, so John says the thing, Ankasa, Mahama himself knows he's lost the elections, but he wants to make it difficult for the EC Keke. Just accepts defeat. Nanado all the way. KJ Kum says Nanado is cruising to victory. Any word for this man? I believe that the NPP is in a very uncomfortable situation. That's some statement that was made by Asiru Nketia, who's the General Secretary of the NDC. Make them declare the results quick. Now I won't bet. And this is us in the studio, honestly. I won't lie to you, because we were hoping that for some reason the EC would be able to meet the 24-hour deadline.
PM.
Imagine, we would have been in bed by now.
I'm telling you. That was the expectation of many, to be honest. Not just us, but many journalists, especially because we're hinging on the 24-hour promise of the Electoral Commission, hoping that at least latest by, midnight around this time, we will be in the last lap of the discussion of where this party won because ABC. But it looks as if we may have to hold on a few hours longer.
Yeah. Alvin Upon says, Nanado, I think Mahama is afraid to understand that Mahama has lost. One girl near says, the Electoral Commission has delayed, and see how some Ghana girls are complaining. Meanwhile, one innocent guy proposed to you in 2019 and you haven't replied him till date. Anyway, iClear votes cast bad results. Browse mode activated. Mahama Ronaldo. Okay. This is Nana's house right now. That's Ivan Osei Ajiman. This is the front of his home. Let me see what time he tweeted. This is just an hour ago.
Yeah.
Okay, this is the front of the president's house. What are we seeing?
I think that was moments. So that's the elephant miniature. The elephant miniature they take to most of their big rallies and programs. And before the elections, during the heat of the campaign, there were certain roundabouts you get there, and they have these huge elephant miniatures there. They seem to have crafted or created their own elephant. And, it's interesting how they keep it and move it around almost everywhere. And these were moments before we spoke to our correspondent, who was saying that lots of people had turned up at the house of the flag bearer of the NPP and the sitting president, all in support. And we are all awaiting the results from the Electoral Commission.
I believe there was also the notion that the president was going to speak, and so maybe that's why they thronged his home, hoping to get a glimpse of him. That's a photo of him and his daughters, and family, basically. And it says, call me President's girl, dem sugar. That's Ike Day model. Okay, so I can spot his daughters. That's, I think, is that Jan Kuma? That should be here. Well, we have all his daughters are in there, and maybe some other family members. Yes, exactly. Yeah. So, what else is trending with regards to the president? Lady Pinach says, NPP leaders took school seriously. Can't say same for our neighbors. Nana Akufo-Addo, the EC's husband just came back from US. Please allow her to enjoy herself small before she comes out with the results, please. That's like model. With the appointment of the NPP, I'll skip that. Nana is the president. It is a compendium of speculations, amorphous personalities, and nebulous innuendos and insinuations. Sami Jemfi 2017. Okay. Well, we're winning hands down. Hashtag Nanado. That's Rita Somerville. Christmas in Kumasi starts now. Hey, come and see knockouts. My guys, they throw for Bantama sake of this election. Hashtag Nanado. That's from Prince Denzel. And Anaya says, I wonder why the NPP members are so happy compared to the supposed NDC winners in quote, Aye hu 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 hu. Ghana decides 2020. Okay. If EC can't release the results, they should give it to UCC. But why UCC though?
I have no idea.
Are they very lethal with results as well?
It probably might be the reason behind that.
Anyway, Asha says, where are the superheroes? Make Flash run Go Future and tell us who won the elections. Okay, I get this now. And, okay, there's a young lady who's asleep. She's been waiting for the results.
Actually, they watched the election results.
Where is she? Okay. She's been waiting for the results, and unfortunately, the EC has not
very old
declared it. Well, yeah, I know.
That's the Speaker of Parliament when he was contesting.
He was contesting for Domi Kwabenya. True. Anyway,
you can tell that the person who gave that T-shirt to the young lady is probably a die-hard MPP supporter who's had that for, because that man hasn't been contested in a long, long time.
This one says, now she the wedge make Nanado win, so she go do Soloku. What does that mean?
Oh, you don't know Soloku?
No.
Oh, I can demonstrate Soloku for you, but for purposes of, but Soloku is a certain kind of dance way, Charlie, is similar to Asokpo.
Oh, I see.
You don't know that?
No, I've heard Soloku a lot of times, but I don't know what it is. So I guess dance. Small girl, Yasmin Orlando says, if EC can't announce the results, they should hand over to WAEC. We've read that already. And interesting, is this actually real or this is a screenshot? Because I had seen this earlier. I couldn't tell if it was real. Then we'll skip it because we cannot verify if indeed it had been projected on international media platforms that, what we saw. What's holding the EC official from telling us what we're waiting for? Me, I'm going to watch a football match. And Nanado, don't mind what the EC people are saying. So, well, yeah, those are some issues in the trends. WAEC is trending, and I can bet you it's about the fact that people think that WAEC should announce the result. Asiedu Nketia is also in the trends. Maybe we'll do that quickly and wrap up with social media trends. Let's see what they're saying. Asiedu Nketia, please open the gates for your kids at Oyarifa Ghana flag to lead the resistance. Nubian, there's no resistance. We're not getting into that space. And so please, let's be careful what we ask for. This I have read already.
I think the names...
it's a repetition.
Because of the names that are trending, the same tweets pop up anytime you go there. But it tells you that a lot of people are monitoring what's happening on television here on your election command center and on many media platforms because of the interest in Ghana's elections. And I can bet that it is not just local, but then global as well. Yeah, it's true. Now, this is very interesting because where Fidelis says, as Otokuno and Asiedu Nketia talk say, we for march to every polling station to defend our vote. How many of their kids did they ask to lead us? Very good question, food for thought. Yeah, and you see, that is one other part of the conversation normally we do not have unless it is in a lead up to an election, a major election, or, when there's violence. But I am particularly getting happy about the fact that those who would have easily been, marshaled into going to cause mayhem and cause chaos are beginning to think that why is it that you would want me to go and do something? Would you lead me to do that? Is any relative of yours going to do that? So on a daily basis, people are looking for the simple bread and butter issues, what I can get to eat to take care of myself and family. I wouldn't necessarily have to, or I don't have to go and hurt myself or hurt someone for someone else's cause. So the narrative is changing from going out to do the regular choboism to reasoning and having a talk and dialoguing. And I'm happy that we are taking that trend as a country, as a people, is for our own benefit. And I hope that it gets to the grassroots because they really need to understand that before a politician tells you to go
defend or fight on their behalf. In this case, I'm not saying that the NDC has asked for us to step out and fight, but before they ask you to do that, ask them if they're willing to allow their kids to also go do that.
join.
Now, KOD Kindela says, Sami Chemfi, 148, Asiedu Ketia, 141, John Mahama, 140, Otukuno, 139. So which one should Ghanaians believe? You claim you've won majority of the seats, but always given different figures. Oh, God, Ghana, Brewai. And a lot of people have been asking this as well, because we realized that there were differences in the figures that were put out.
And we actually wrote them down when they were saying it unconsciously, because we knew we'd be talking about it. Anytime they mentioned some numbers, we penned it down. And you could tell that it wasn't just us, but really, people are paying attention to what politicians are saying. So they really need to be cautious of the numbers. You either sing from the same hymn book or don't sing at all.
Well, I guess maybe eventually, as they were tabulating, they realized that some of the seats were going to the other or the opposition, or who knows, maybe the minority parties. And this is a photo declaration of the 2020 presidential election. We have Nanado, we have Madame Jean Mensa, who's the EC chair, and also we have the flag bearer of the NDC, former President John Dramani Mahama. And it says, photos drop as EC headquarters is surrounded by heavy security. Ekuya Nyonam says, in the morning, Sami Jemfi, well, we've read that already. So again, the messages are quite repetitive. We've seen a number of them already. Okay.
Yes.
The General Secretary of the opposition NDC, Johnson Asiedu Ketia, has rejected claims. Okay. So that's
the picture, though.
Why this choice of photo?
Like said, Jackie Chan movie.
He's defending the ballot boxes?
Probably. And he's in the outfit he's in. He's a
warrior.
He's a war regalia. So a war regalia with a Jackie Chan pose, man.
It doesn't match.
Deadly. But that's a deadly pose.
Why Chinese and Ghana? Like this combination, I'm trying to understand. He's international. Anyway, that's about it for
what's happening on social media.
Exactly. And we'll be coming away with more of that in the West Wing later. But we just wanted to give you a fair idea of what was happening, just so we can continue to have that conversation.
Okay. We are 3 minutes away, actually, from getting into the 9th of December. Many of us are looking forward to the declaration by the Electoral Commission. And, from the reports we've picked from our correspondents across the country and even some of the key personalities we've spoken to, what I like about all they have said is that they have also seen the two parties' supporters out there jubilating. The good news about it is that they are both jubilating. It should stay that way and in peace. However, when the declaration is done and maybe the portion of defeat is served to either of them, they should take it in good faith and just go home. Look, it's just a 4-year tenure. I know that 4 years to some people is very long, be it the NDC or the NPP, but truthfully, I think that it will be in the interest of the state if we can understand that it is for a period. That is why I am beginning to love the way constituents are voting. If you're a member of parliament and they realize that for this 4-year term you are not delivering, they will kick you out.
Of course.
And I think we should extend that to not just the constituency, but to the national elections as well. If a party comes into government and we believe collectively that they are not doing what the masses want, we should feel free to use our thumbs to take them out. And that's why we keep pushing the policy of ballots, not bullets. Let's use our thumbs. Let's learn to use our thumbs, exercise your franchise, kick people out, bring new ones. If they are not performing, you have that same mandate every 4 years to knock them out. And let's do that regularly until the politicians begin to understand that, no, they are to serve us, not the other way around.
I think they'll argue this out with their last breath, especially because they'll tell you that 4 years is never enough to do much, especially if you're taking over from a party. It takes time for you to figure out what contracts we're giving, how to now transition into the new government. And then before you realize it's already 3 years and you're going for you're seeking re-election. Exactly. And so it's never enough, and which is why they always try to campaign for an 8-year term instead of just 4 years. But you're right. I mean, if we're able to hold them accountable,
you see,
even at the polling stations, to the extent that we kick them out when they're not performing, they will not give excuses and say that 4 years is not enough to do much.
In that same vein, Bella, I think that we as a people can we have a National Development Planning Commission. So collectively as a nation, we say that I think for the next 4 years, our main target should be fixing our educational system.
Yeah.
So whichever party comes to power, that should be your focus. Yes, there are other sectors we need to focus on, but that this is the major agenda we all are pursuing as a country.
Yeah.
Then maybe the next 4-year term, if we think that you pursued it truthfully, you achieved or made major strides, we'll give you another 4-year term to continue.
Exactly.
And because there is that plan, whichever government comes into power, you stay with the books and make sure you execute it. But if we allow them to bring their policies, then we probably will be marking time almost every now and then. They suggested a 40-year development plan, and within that 40 years, we are going to be having different governments coming. Whoever comes into power, there is a plan already. Thank you for bringing yours. We can work with it, but this is the nation's interest. This is the nation's focus. That is one of the things we should start, because the politician knows what they want. It is not always in the state's interest, but that is where, if the electorates are we are being empowered every now and then. If we can start pushing them to do what we want collectively, I'm sure that Ghana will be the better for it.
I agree. I really agree. And it's interesting that even up until now, we still do not have that national plan to work with. Reason why the parties push or, force their ideologies on us and expect that we would understand or accept whatever plan it is that they have for us, whether or not it is what we really need at a particular point in time, which is why I've been wondering why the sudden promise of free tertiary, almost 4 days or 3 days to the elections. Is it really something that we would have needed at that time?
Yeah.
Or were these promises made just to garner votes for the parties? And if we had a national plan, I don't think that anybody would just get up and say that 4 days to elections, I've suddenly seen the light and I think that this is what Ghanaians need, so I'm giving this to you, vote for me, so I come into power. Because Ghanaians will ask you, is this in the plan? If it's not, then I'm sorry. This is not going to be a reason why I'd vote for you. In fact, I'll vote you out for wanting to go
insulting
outside.
my intelligence.
Yeah.
For insulting
Outside
the intelligence
the
of the
plan.
Ghanaian. And we have news from different sources saying that regional results are being released by the Electoral Commission.
That's
on
true,
some
by
pages,
the way.
On some of its pages. We have some of them. If you stay with your election command center, we will get all the certified figures from the Electoral Commission and we'll start bringing it out to you shortly. But we're told that our colleague Roland Walker would also be giving us an update on what the Electoral Commission has been doing in the last few hours. And your election command center is also monitoring activities from all the other regions for you. And when we do get the certified figures from the Office of the Electoral Commission regarding the various regions and how the populace voted, we'll start sharing some of them on our various screens. Then you can see for yourself these numbers that are coming in from the Office of the Electoral Commission, or at least from the Facebook page of the Electoral Commission, we are told. So stay with your election command center. We're taking a quick breather. Then when we come back, we'll delve into some of the key issues that are making headlines around the country, specifically on social media and on conventional media as well.
Hello, my name is Bridget Jobenuku, flag bearer of the PPP for the 2020 elections. Peace brings growth and development to the country. Do not give in to violence. I pledge to peace.
My name is Dr. Yao Osei Ebichu. I'm the Member of Parliament for Bosunche and the Deputy Minister for Education. Election 2020 is around the corner. The stakes are high, but no individual or party interest is greater than that of our dear nation, Ghana. I stand for peace.
Fellow Ghanaians, my name is Dr. Hassan Erga, founder and leader and presidential candidate of the All People's Congress. The 2020 election is not about violence. Ghana needs peace before, during, and after the election. As I pledge to peace, that every Ghanaian should pledge to peace, I pledge for peace in the 2020 election.
I am Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa, Member of Parliament for the North Tongue constituency in the Volta region and ranking member on the Committee on Foreign Affairs. We all must remember that Ghana is bigger than all of us. We cannot sacrifice the peace and stability of our nation because of narrow political power. This is the 8th election in this 4th Republic. We have become a shining example, a beacon of peace, an oasis of stability, and a role model to many other countries across the world. In this 2020 elections, I pledge to peace.
Fellow Ghanaians, Ghana is at a critical crossroad in this 2020 elections. My name is Jacob Osei-Boa, twice contested independent presidential candidate. I stand for peace. Thank you.
As a nation and a people, our journey towards democratization has been a checkered one. Oh yes, it has not been a smooth journey at all. However, we can still pat ourselves at the back because of some successes we have chalked as a nation. We have come far, and in Africa, Ghana is seen as a beacon of hope and an oasis of peace. Oh yes, it is true. Tribalism and ethnicity should not be allowed to fester or reign supreme in our country, for it breeds conflict. In this respect, the 1992 Ghana's Republican Constitution says it in its preamble, "We the people of Ghana." This "We the people of Ghana" statement is very significant. Significant because it did not say "We the Fantis, the Ashantis, the Ewas, or the Dagombas." It says "We the people of Ghana." As citizens, let us be hardworking, tolerant, and very civil with our dealings with one another. Dialogue spirit and joy should be our hallmark. Election 2020, let us do our part as great citizens to protect the peace God has endowed us with. Ghana will win, Africa will win, and the world will win. Thank you, Mr. Humasi.
Don't bring problem to this country because you don't have anywhere to go. You're all Ghanaians, we need a peace, you need to stay here, you can't go anywhere. So easy, take it easy, do what you can, no problem, you don't have anywhere to go, please.
Mbake biaga tuwe nake, beta fa solo be na to pore. Ya tiku tuwe na ndoma, ojina bedele beta fa so kudu da ke ka, tabata de tunya kwen, to go mu le pata fa so, kuma ku tunu ba mo pone.
During this election, I'm pledging for peace. There shouldn't be any violence during and after the election. Thank you.
Undisputable analysis. Trusted reporters.
Widest coverage. Clear opinions.
Factual data.
Fair and balanced.
This is your Election Command Center. My name is Komla Kluche. I pledge to peace.
Aisha Yakubu. This is your Election Command Center, and I pledge to peace.
I pledge to peace. My name is Johnny Hughes, and this is your Election Command Center.
Stephen Ente. I pledge to peace. This is your Election Command Center.
This is your Election Command Center. I am Nanekia Mensah Brampa, and I pledge to peace.
Berla Mundi from your Election Command Center, and I pledge to peace.
I pledge to peace. I am Alfred Okanse, and this is your Election Command Center.
The Election Command Center.
obi bia nkoto na aba fefefe yempe gidigidi bia asundue ne yempe na bibia anya boko ye wi abato no so ne yekenkan a obi bia fa asundue na bibia anya fefefe ye da mos
time no so a ukọ a no akodi lai no akoto waba wo de kokomoti na si ba bia wo se wo di si so ma no no wi a ukọ fi peace ya pasundue si e beto aba no peace.
We are about to vote for the coming 2021 election. All I want is peace and harmony among our countries. May you help each other. Whenever you finish voting, you should go home peacefully and don't create any commotion or any charge or anything against anyone. Even if someone asks you, whom did you vote for? Your vote is your secret. Try to keep it within yourself and go home and go and be with your family. Prevention is better than cure. Stay home and keep yourself safe. As you can see, Corona is still in the system.
Good day, citizens of Ghana. I am Kukian Payne Samnane Ekechane Shot, winner for TV3 Talented Case this year 2020. And peace ambassador, because I am a citizen. I am pleading for peace. Asundwe wafia eye, shaping peace together. MPP, NDC, PPP, CPP, JFP, GUM. Muna mayen pitripi ne mpatrapa ne kaka chirebi ni chirebi wedi ampo mbedi asa moye obufa dadefa o chichira kurawu aji amang. We need peace.